like Indiana Jones, like a Uncharted top game, then great, you could have that. I mean, but I don't
They're
agree what they're
what
doing for the thing. You should
this
compete
is.
against every company.
If this is accurate, this is top tier, next level what Microsoft is doing, because there's been rumors consisting for years that Game Pass, they wanted to be a Trojan horse to get onto
They want
other
Game Pass on the
platforms and have
Switch
Game
and
Pass on
Sony. Yeah,
PlayStation Store, and
yeah.
Nintendo already. Who knows? You know what's
Yeah.
here? What about this? I would love to get Ray on his opinion on this first. What if the Nintendo Direct next is that the next Switch 2 is going to launch with Game Pass?
That
Boom!
that would be amazing, and I agree
Because
with
these
a lot of
rumors are
what you
so at
shared.
the same time. Oh, well, let's hear from you more then. But I just thought of that. What if that's one of the announcements? The Switch 2 launching with Game Pass.
Yes, yeah, I definitely agree. If it has any type of like cloud streaming, that would be amazing. I know they kind of experimented with it with a few different IPs and some Japan exclusives. So that would be a major step up, especially if they can't, improve, a lot of like the given hardware of the Switch OLED, for example, for whatever reason. At least, elevate it to be able to um be more friendly as far as like the current gamer climate, which is favoring multi-platform multiplayer content like in high fidelity. I think that's been the challenge of the Switch as well, that the fidelity of the game experience, like the frame rate and the graphic quality, has been substandard, like several generations behind in some opinions.
Well, this could be another benefit of Microsoft holding on to having variations of its hardware with one less powerful too, and scaling the games. This could be another reason why that was so important, because they have that track history there. And yes, we hope the Switch 2 is as powerful as it can be, but most likely it's probably going to be PS4 or maybe you know
PS4,
it,
maybe Xbox
or
Series
like the
X
Switch,
one.
or the Xbox S
Yeah,
quality.
that's yeah,
Hey,
maybe.
That's
Yeah.
that's great.
and that
Like as we get more and more into like these current generation, hardware steps up, like different variations of like the PS5, for example, things like that. Like there's only so much, that the human eye can, notice as far as like improvements in the graphic quality. But I will say that PS4, like, entry level versus PS5 where it is right now, there's a huge, sort of like, you can if you yes, there is a difference there somewhat, but not it's not a deal breaker, at
Mhm.
least like for me. So PS4 level quality, even if it's like, entry level on the Switch, and it has game streaming or it has Game Pass, like that, like you were mentioning. Yeah, that's mind blowing
And there
because
was
yeah.
also an experiment with some, on the Switch with cloud gaming a little bit a few years ago too, which now I always like to look at rumors, coinciding rumors. They're happening at the same time. That you've heard that they're going to have a Nintendo Direct coming soon, right?
Oh, I've been offline for like
Oh,
2
okay.
days and I miss
So
so
there,
much news.
one of my friends texted me and he said that the rumors surrounding this Nintendo Direct it's the last one of this generation, that it's going to be a big one. So this would be perfect timing. And then right now there's also the rumors about Microsoft going third party. I just think it's perfect, and they have also worked before with Banjo-Kazooie, which I think Rare owns too, but they worked with what was that? GoldenEye. They worked together on GoldenEye launching at the same time. That was also significant. GoldenEye, they wanted to bring back to these services. That was actually that they worked together on that. So
I think the fear that a lot of folks like me and maybe in like the outer rim of fandom is that we're frustrated that the acquisition of so many IPs hasn't led to
yes,
the expediting new content. where otherwise like it's been shelved. You know, a lot of these IPs have
Yes.
been shelved, and it's sort of like indefinitely, like, you know, undetermined what the status is of ever seeing these games not only get follow-ups, but be accessible at all. So a lot of us were banking on the idea of like, yeah, get it all on, you know, one umbrella company, so that they can, you know, release it on every platform, like, you know,
But
how
the
we, you know,
side
yeah,
effects, yeah, not everything
that
gets
hasn't actually,
to.
you know, been the case for a lot of like
Well,
beloved
look
legacy
at Disney.
IPs.
They have so many. They can't handle everything. They can't handle. You know, they're still they're handling it, but they're struggling producing as much content as they. And now their focus has changed to uh the most popular. You know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to add just now too, is that, again, playing devil's advocate, how much money do they really realistically, or resources they want to allocate to putting out and supporting putting out these legacy IPs if there's not much of a return there or incentive. Like for folks like, you know, Max and myself, like, yeah, that's amazing. That's what we've been waiting, you know, all these years since these IPs have been acquisitioned by Microsoft.
Oh,
However, we're a very small percentage of, you know, the buying market,
there
whereas
there
like a lot of people are prioritizing the popular stuff.
there was also a scare of a fan of uh, a developer that we are fans of, Rhea. With one of the layoffs, there was a big scare on like all the Toys for Bob's fans were
Yes,
freaking out.
I saw that.
But it
Canadian guy A
yes,
reported on it.
I follow a Canadian guy. Yeah, they have an update. Apparently, they're moving offices, but there are still some layoffs. So hopefully, because I really think that last Crash game, even though you sent me a code for it, I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't this like as popular as it. I think that really hurt them a little bit. I'm hoping they get the chance for that. They're holding out hope for this Spyro to come back because they next in
Yeah.
line.
I don't think it was fair to trust this smaller sort of like indie studio, or like, you know, contracted studio to upkeep a live service. Like I think that
Yeah.
was a huge, you know, leap of faith that
Well,
they shouldn't have, you know, projected onto them. So I feel
you
really bad for that studio.
yeah, one misstep within the game industry. The game industry is very profitable and it's making more money than the movie industry right now. But one misstep for a studio can sink a studio. That's really unfortunate because one game could do it. It's really sad. And that didn't used to be like that. We do
Yeah.
have some super chats here from some viewers. So thank you so
Yes.
much.
The
Tony,
generosity, amazing.
yeah, Tony, movie, Chappie, District 9, Neil Blomkamp fan, 1999. Really appreciate that. Snyder DCEU plan could have easily beat MCU, but then Warner Brothers
I'm not
had
get
to.
into this debate. Oh my
Well,
God.
it's the paying customer, Anthony. So that's what you do. That's what John Campy does. We got to be professionals here. He paid it. He wants us to talk about it. I'm going to at least give it a little bit of time. Botched up by listening to the critics and then hated BVS and Suicide Squad. And then you hired Whedon. Big. I think he's trying to get Joe started because he like a lot of his super chats are directed towards you, Joe. And then hired Whedon. Big mistake. And Toby and Walter going far from the DCEU. I feel you, Tony. I think they could have had something big there. I think it was heading towards Thanos levels with Darkseid. I really do. I think we were right. We were right at the launch pad of something really amazing. But I also, my enthusiasm for James Gunn and what he's starting now is up there too. I still wish we would have saw a conclusion to what was happening before. I know Joe is going to say, but you did get it. I don't really think we did. But I am so hyped for what the moves James Gunn's doing right now. I think he could have included other stuff. One of them is, I know, Rhea, you're also a fan of the JSA and Hawkman and Black Adam and the JSA in that movie. I love Dr. Fate, getting him for Oh, there were some great characters in there. So I would love to see some things continue, but take that away and put in isolation the moves that James Gunn's doing right now in like the Oscar category we were talking about.